Welcome to the channel. Tessie here, and on this channel we discuss so many things, brand new topics, my lifestyle, better outcomes for Black women, women in general in dating, relationships and more. So grab yourself a glass of something lovely, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button because you're going to enjoy this video. It's going to be an interesting one. Today we are going to be talking so much about the consequences of marrying down for Black women and how expensive it is to have kids in this economy, and how not only do women suffer consequences for marrying down for themselves, but for also their kids too. So we're going to get into it. It's going to be very interesting. I love it. Okay. And there's a lot that I have to discuss, but I'm going to try and condense it into a fairly short video. So I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And let's get into it. So I was looking at I came across a video on TikTok. Now, I do not have a TikTok account. I don't post anything on TikTok, but I came across a video about this Black woman who was basically crying that she had to work while pregnant. And you know my opinion on that, because I've literally just had a baby a couple of months ago and I did not work the entire time I was pregnant. I'm not going back to work. My husband pays the bills. I'm just relaxing and enjoying myself with my darling baby girl. And this lady was lamenting so deeply. She has to work. Not only does she have to work while pregnant, but she's working in Amazon. Do you know how physically demanding Amazon is? Do you know, like, every time I see videos of those Amazon jobs, I feel sick. Those Amazon jobs are hell. Pure fucking slavery. Listen, if Jeff Bezos was born in 100 years ago, he would have been a fucking slave owner. He would have had a plantation, okay? Those jobs are horribly hard. Very, very stressful. Very, 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 very exhausting jobs. And this Black woman was crying on her TikTok about why she has to work during being pregnant, work really hard. And to be honest, my opinion is always that women really should not be having kids for men that can allow them to stay at home and relax while pregnant. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, if you want to work, you can't work. There's a difference between having to work, because if you don't work, you and your family will fucking starve to death. And then there's a difference between working because you just want to get out there and do a couple of jobs. You cannot tell me that if you have the fucking option, you're going to work 12 hours a day just because you want to get out and be active. There are so many things you can do to be active without actually having to work and suffer and dealing with the general public for 12 hours a day. So no, it's not because you want to just work. It's because you don't have a choice. It's really depressing, because I've always been of the mind that Black women really should be very careful marrying down. And when I mean marrying down, you're marrying someone who cannot give you a comfortable life while you're pregnant, before you're pregnant, and after you've had the baby. Is really important, because women really don't understand the sheer level of sacrifice they're going through, especially Black women. And Black women just have children like crazy. I don't even understand what it is, right? I mean, multiple kids. Now, it's not only Black women, it's other women as well. It's white women, it's Asian women, but especially Black women, because unfortunately, a lot of Black women are coming from disadvantaged backgrounds. And listen, when you have a child and the father is not there, or you are not prepared yourself, it is so miserable. It is so hard. Listen, I see mothers complaining they're working up until the day they give birth, and they're going back to work 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days after giving birth. This is insane. And not only are they going back to work, they're going back to physically demanding jobs like this Amazon lady. And you know, the only thing that annoyed me was the way Black women were insulting her on her TikTok. Now, I didn't like the way she was responding to women, because women were telling her, you need to rest while you're pregnant. Listen, I was traveling, I was enjoying myself. I really loved my pregnancy period, apart from the last 6 weeks when I was just a huge balloon and it was just very difficult to move around. But apart from that, I loved my pregnancy experience because I wasn't working. I was relaxing. Listen, I would wake up at 1 p.m. with a cup of coffee in bed, watching one of my favorite shows, you know, or just chilling, or just relaxing, or just literally, I was so relaxed. It was incredible. Everyone was trying to tell her, listen, you need rest, and you need your husband to give you rest. He should be allowing you to stay at home and relax. And her responses were very much, my husband is not a bank, or my husband is not this, or my husband is not that, or he's not. Listen, he is supposed to be a bank for you and your kids. Who is he going to be a bank for? He's supposed to be a bank for you and your children. Why is he giving you kids if he's not going to take care of them? And this is why you are now slaving away in one of the hardest jobs. Literally one of the hardest jobs in the Western world. Amazon is so hard. I have seen grown men come back home from Amazon exhausted. I have seen, like, when I was younger and I was in university, I had a couple of friends who would work at Amazon and they were exhausted. These were grown men who were exhausted. You know, it was frustrating that she didn't seem to understand it. But then again, I didn't like the way black women were laughing at her on her TikTok, in her TikTok comments, because you're never going to get through to somebody by insulting them. You're never ever going to get through to someone. Nobody's ever going to listen to you if you insult them or you laugh at them or you mock them through their struggle. That's not going to inspire them to listen to you. They're just going to double down on their suffering, even though they don't realize that they're suffering more. But they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to take in your point of view if you just come in and start laughing at them when they're lamenting their struggle. Yes, she clearly seemed to have this pick me mindset, but it doesn't mean that you need to start mocking her for it, because it's not actually going to help, right? And I think a lot of black women in that comment section were not interested in helping. They were just interested in laughing at her, which fair enough, but don't make it look like you're interested in helping her. You just want to laugh at her, so just fucking own your just fucking own your shit, you know, just freaking own the fact that you just wanted to laugh at her. Now, this was very depressing, very, very depressing. And it leads into another TikTok video that I want to show you about a black woman who's clearly she's a black British woman, and I'm a black British woman. I was born in London. I'm a Londoner, and she was talking about how it's really pathetic that in this day and age, an apartment is a luxury for most people. Most people cannot. Grown adults making income cannot even afford their own apartment. They're sharing fucking 20 bums on one fucking toilet in their 40s, in their 50s, with 20 goddamn people that they don't even know. It's incredibly tragic. And she was talking about it a lot. And the fact that when you think about it, a lot of people are so unstable. They're having children. They're having to work, especially black women. They're having to work through their pregnancies. Going back to work 10 days after they've given birth, or even 5 weeks, is too bloody soon. Because I'm about, 15 weeks postpartum. I've just managed to get my body back down to my pre-pregnancy size. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And that's because, you know, I've been able to relax. My husband does so much for me. I've got a huge amount of support, a huge village, nanny, cleaner, all of those things. And listen, I still feel exhausted. Do you know how exhausting pregnancy is? When you are pregnant, your tired will be tired. And I need to show you this TikTok. Because what this lady was saying was so correct. So let's watch it and then we'll get back into it.
I think we as people and we as a society, we're too compliant and complacent about what's happening right now. With inflation, with the rental market, housing crisis, rising gas prices, you know, rising everything, insurance, especially how it's affecting younger people. I think we're just way too relaxed about what's going on. Everyone is saying if you're young, leave the UK, move to Thailand, do this, do that. There's a creator that I'm going to tag. Go watch her videos. Her content is really good and relatable for young people living in the UK, pertaining to people that are getting their degrees, PhDs, whatever, and being, you know, becoming a grown-ass adult, moving to London, getting a London salary and still being forced to house share. Not even a choice, but you're being forced to house share because you can't even afford to get your own place. And as someone that's from the West Midlands, just know that they're trying to do this in all the major cities where there's just not enough space. They're trying to make it so everyone is house sharing, everyone's living in a HMO. And these landlords that are owning these HMOs just know they're greedy because they see people that obviously come from a low socioeconomic background, people that are desperate, and they will just cramp them all in houses. And I really do feel like it's giving Hunger Games. I feel like the divide of wealth between the ultra rich and regular normal people, even middle class people, they're really starting to feel it. They are the ones even struggling the most. At least we've learned to be frugal and like, you know, live that sort of lifestyle. It's hitting middle class people the worst because they're the ones that's got their mortgage, the expensive cars, and now they're drowning in debt. They're losing their jobs, you know, all these tech companies letting them go. But anyways, I digress. It's giving Hunger Games because I know that they're gonna crank all the poor people in, like, we're all going to be in slums and ghettos, and the ultra wealthy are going to be like in mansions and yachts and all these things, watching us eating rats to survive. And I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Everything is just going to go up and up and up until they come in with a solution, which is going to be like the Great Reset, and they're going to just flip in. We're not going to be in control of anything. All of our finances done out, everything. We're going to have to rely on them, literally like Hunger Games. Like, how bad does it have to get? Like, how bad do things have to escalate before we decide to have a revolution? Because this is not something I believe that's going to get bad. That's why everyone's trying to leave the UK, but I kind of feel bad for them places that we're going to, like, for example, Thailand, Vietnam, these places that are known for being cheap. But they're no longer going to be cheap because we have privileged Westerners gentrifying those places and making it expensive for the locals. So it's like, we're taking one problem and bringing it to these places, we're bringing it to the East. And not to say that we're not allowed to move, you know, I'm personally someone that wants to leave the UK as soon as possible, but it's like, it's kind of a peak situation worldwide, and it kind of makes you think this is late stage capitalism at the end of the day. Like, this is just all this is the effects of late stage capitalism, and everything is going to go up and up and up and get so bad to the point it's going to need a great reset. But when is it going to take the people to realize, like, we shouldn't necessarily have to pay for things that ensure our survival? Because, like, what the hell? What's going to happen when, you know, Tesco's is fully stocked, but people are literally starving outside because we can't afford food? Are we going to have a revolt and be like, okay, we're going to raid Tesco's? Or, like, is it going to turn into the purge? Like, what is going to happen? Because deep it, people are already cutting out so many luxuries and privileges at their lives. And, you know, we're all feeling the inflation, but I feel like no one's really talking about it. We're still shopping, we're still going out to eat and stuff, but we don't actually deep like how bad it's getting. Like, regardless, I think it's going to get to a point no one's going to be able to do nothing, no one's going to be able to have fun, everyone's just going to be depressed. But I'm ready to revolt when you guys are. Go check out this creator anyways. She's the one that sparked the idea for this video. I think they're going to try normalizing house shares and stuff. And I know London is notorious for being expensive, but I really do feel like they're going to try push this across the UK, starting with major cities. And I feel like this whole idea of moving to north or moving to places like with like sparser populations, like, that's not really going to work if you're a POC and like if you don't drive and like if you're trying to move a whole, you know, family and things.
You can see exactly what she's saying, and what she's saying is correct. It's actually pathetic that even having a apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment, is a huge luxury for people, especially in the capital, in London, or in any of these big cities across the world, New York, Shanghai, all of those type of places. It's so expensive. Most people are sharing rooms. Some people are even sharing beds with people they don't know. Listen. Nobody who has the choice, who really has the money, will want to live with a group of people that they do not know, who have completely different cleaning habits, different, sleeping habits, different, just different social habits to you. Having to designate space in the fridge for your fucking carton of milk, or you're having to designate space in the fridge for your cheese, and other people are eating your fucking yogurts. And it's just misery. It's just misery. And then you're arguing about who ate your yogurt. Do you know how crazy that is? Because why? You don't have money enough to just even live in your own apartment. Even your own apartment. Never mind people buying a house. Now, buying a house isn't always the most financially responsible thing for a lot, because a lot of people actually overbuy what they cannot afford, and then they end up house poor. They end up not being able to pay their property taxes or their council tax or their mortgage or whatever, and the interest rates go up, and then they're fucked as well. So it's not even just the people who can't afford to live in an apartment. It's also the people who can't afford, who are buying a house, who've bought a house and they still can't afford to keep up with the payments, or they buy a house and they can't afford to buy a fucking bed inside the house. So they're sleeping on the floor in the house that they bought. There's so many things that are going on. And it's so sad for me to see Black women marrying down. Now, I'm not going to mention Pacific race, but unfortunately, it is the reality that when Black women marry within their group, they tend to marry down. A lot of Black women are extremely successful, very, very, very ambitious, go-getting, and they cannot find a man on their level, and a man that will treat them well, will not cheat, abuse, lie, or destroy them. It's very sad, because it basically, what it means is it's not worth it for a lot of Black women and a lot of women to have children, which is why you're seeing a huge boom in this child-free life. A lot of people are saying they don't want to have children, this and that, because it's not worth it. Because when you do get pregnant, you're still working. Why are you still working and suffering in Amazon, in places like that, And when you get pregnant, you can't be guaranteed that you're going to be taken care of. You're going to relax. You're suffering. When the child comes out and you're going through the newborn stage, nobody's there to help you. You don't have a village, you don't have friends, and the partner that you have cannot guarantee your financial and emotional comfort. This is very, very, very sad and very, very depressing and damaging. And a lot of women see what other women go through and they go, I'm not going to go through that. And so hence why there's a big, and you know what? This leads me into another TikTok I saw, another 2 TikToks I saw. Now, one of them, the guy is actually so ratchet. Like, he's so ratchet, right? But he looks like a roadman. He looks like a roadman from Top Boy. But forget his image and actually understand the message, and what he's saying is actually 100% correct. So I'm going to show you the TikTok now.
Go and abort them fucking kids if you don't got no fucking money. Right now. Stop having kids if y'all fucking broke, bro. If y'all have no fucking money to take care of y'all fucking self, why the fuck would y'all bring kids in this fucking world that y'all gotta take care of, nigga? Y'all barely got any fucking money to take care of y'all fucking self. Y'all be bringing kids in this fucking world to suffer, nigga. Y'all be being raised up fucking government assistance, nigga. That same government assistance barely take care of your fucking self. Huh? Y'all not tired of raising kids on food stamps? Huh? Y'all not tired of raising kids on fucking WIC? Huh? Or government fucking Section 8? Huh? Tell me. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all keep having fucking struggle babies. No, y'all can barely fucking get by. No, y'all fucking poor. No, y'all fucking broke. Stop fucking having unprotected sex if you know you don't got no fucking money. It's that simple, nigga. It's kids out here and people out here suffering, nigga, because they had a bad fucking upbringing from irresponsible fucking adults that decide to knock fucking boots and go fuck. Knowing that they have no fucking money in their fucking pockets. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all know those people suffering out here because y'all badass irresponsible actions, huh? It's people suffering, nigga. Suffering. They got health issues, nigga. They got financial issues, nigga. They got mental issues, nigga. They got all types of fucking issues because they don't need fucking responsible, nigga. That badass bum-ass food, y'all buying them and raising them off of, it's giving them fucking ADHD, anxiety, depression, all types of other shit, nigga. They need quality food, nigga. They need quality clothes, nigga. They need quality time and love, care, and nurture. Stop having fucking kids if you fucking broke. That little $19, $20 an hour job is not gonna help you raise no fucking kid. That $25 an hour job is not gonna help you raise no fucking kid. Get a fucking career. Get some fucking money. Get some serious money before you have a fucking kid. I'm fucking shaking, bro. I'm fucking shaking, bro. I'm fucking shaking. Yo, what the fuck? Imagine a fucking kid having to face all types of fucking mental and emotional issues and distress because of fucking problems that wasn't even theirs. They're not their own fucking responsibility. There's no teenager that should be giving them their own fucking check to pay no bills, much like not even half their check, none of their fucking check. Y'all supposed to build y'all fucking kids up for success. Instead, y'all build them up to be fucking poor and fuck-ups just like y'all. If you're a fuck-up, do not have kids, so go fuck their lives up too, you fucking fuck-up. Get your fucking shit straight before you have kids. Stop getting fucked and stop fucking unprotected if you don't got no fucking money. It's people suffering, nigga. When they raised alongside other kids that's being probably taken care of, and then they being looked down upon because of fucking you, and they raised with issues because of fucking you, then what? You can't help them. And y'all try to sit and gaslight y'all fucking kids like y'all wasn't the fucking problem. Y'all pieces of fucking garbage. Stop having fucking kids. If you don't got it, stop it. Y'all got y'all kids being all fucking neglected, feeling all fucking neglected and disrespected because you ain't fucking God to ever give it to them. Every time your fucking kid comes to you, okay, I don't have it right now, I can't give it to you, blah, 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 you know I'm struggling. I bet you fucking bum. Why was you fucking? Why the fuck was you fucking? And why would you go through with the fucking birth and say you get no fucking abortion? Oh, wait, You probably couldn't afford it either. You probably couldn't fucking afford it either. And if you can afford a pack of fucking condoms to fuck, what makes you think you could afford a fucking kid? Huh? Huh? You couldn't afford a fucking pack of condoms to have protected sex, but still yet you wanna see her have fucking kids. Yo, what the fuck? All that extra help, nigga, from government or this and that, they ain't gonna get you no fucking quality care, nigga. No quality health care, no quality food, no quality clothing, no quality money, nigga. You can't even make a certain amount without these niggas talking about cutting fucking benefits, nigga. So how the fuck you gonna be able to take your fucking kid, nigga? Huh? Huh? Tell me.
So you can see what he's actually saying is correct, right? Maybe this guy looks like he's gone through some family trauma, like he's actually speaking from experience, because the emotion is emotioning. The emotion is emotioning. It's crazy. Seriously, the emotion is emotioning, right? If you haven't subscribed, I'm just going to interrupt this video, say if you haven't subscribed, what the fuck you doing, mate? Go and do it right now. Okay, thank you very much. But yes, the emotion is emotioning. You can see what he's saying. It's true, he's right. And a lot of people will go, oh, that's eugenics. You shouldn't say people who are poor can't have kids. No, you shouldn't freaking have them. Because I'm telling you, even the newborn stage, and I am just coming through the newborn stage. Listen, the newborn stage is not easy for a lot of women. A lot of women experience postpartum psychosis, postpartum depression, and that is heightened by your partner not being able to take care of you, not being up to the task. And a lot of black women, they suffer this. A lot of black women actually experience postpartum depression, but nobody opens their mouth.
I hate when people try to use their kids as an excuse to get leeway in this life. Bro, I don't feel sorry for you. Not one bit. Because you're selfish, right? You made a selfish decision. You could barely take care of yourself and you decided to string along a child. Multiple. Oh, I got kids, so it's hard. What kind of excuse? So you telling me it wasn't hard before you had kids?
A lot of black women and they end up being made single mothers. Now, white women are made single mothers, and so are Asian women too. Many women are made single mothers, but it's especially painful for black women to be made single mothers, because many of them are already starting from a lower economic standpoint, and they cannot afford to go lower than they already are. And so when they marry down and then they end up being single mothers, these men either leave them or leave them in worse situations than they were in. Then it has even more dire consequences for them and the kids. The children are affected. Now, yes, this unfortunately, this is a lot of black women. When they marry black men, they marry down. Now, this is not to say that when black women marry out, they don't marry down. There are a lot of black women who marry out. They marry Asian, they marry white, and they also marry down. So it's not relegated to race. It's the man. I keep telling women this, but some of you are not, your brains are not, you're not able to compute what I'm saying. You're not able to understand or comprehend me. It's not about the race. It's about the character. However, in black women's situation, a lot of the time it is the race and the character, unfortunately. So when they marry, a lot of black women, when they marry within their race, or they date down, they marry down. When they marry outside, unfortunately, a lot of black women also still marry down. So it's not a question of, just race, or it's also character. The character of the man. Can he make sure that you are provided for? Can he take care of you and your child? Because in my opinion, he shouldn't be having. And, I really need women to get into this mindset that if a man cannot take care of you and put you in a more comfortable situation, you and your child, he cannot ensure that you and your child are safe even after he dies. Like, I need women to understand, because you can have a nice man and he dies, God forbid. And then what happens to you? He needs to make sure that you and your children are taken care of, regardless of anything that happens to him. Otherwise, in my opinion, black women should just keep themselves and don't give these guys kids, because you are the one who will end up suffering. Like this lady screaming in the TikTok that it should be illegal to work while pregnant, And you see, if you go through her TikTok, you see her husband is there lifting her by the pond. They're there doing romantic forth and back, Meanwhile, the woman is there suffering in Amazon. I don't understand. I don't. Now listen, and this is actually so sad for me. It's so painful for me because for me, I want Black women to enjoy their pregnancy experiences, especially because the mortality rates are higher with Black women. Black women are always worried when they have a baby, they won't come out alive, and it's painful for me to see Black women marrying down and the consequences for them and their children being dire. Now, I didn't realize how privileged my experience of pregnancy was, because when I tell people I didn't work throughout my pregnancy, I'm not working, I'm at home, I was traveling. I went to Germany, I went to freaking the biggest stone circle in Europe. I was traveling, I was waking up every day, enjoying myself. My husband cooked every single one of my meals. It was insane. I barely cooked anything. I barely cleaned anything. It was wonderful. A lot of women sadly will not be able to relate to my experience because whenever they get pregnant, the man changes or he starts showing a different side to him that they didn't see before they got pregnant. And then their life becomes harder and then it becomes more painful and more sad. And honestly, it's really sad for me to know that women are going through that. And sometimes when I talk about my experience, it's not relatable. That shows me that a lot of people are having children in a very, 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 very unsatisfactory and unfavorable conditions. And listen, that guy and that other guy may have been screaming in the TikTok about, you shouldn't be broken, have kids, but they're right. They are right, regardless of the delivery. Forget about the delivery and think about literally spent 6 figures since we got married in March. So between March and now, we have spent so much money. Like, I can't even explain to you. And there's still going to be more money to be spent. The money has not been finished. The money has not finished spending itself away. So I really don't think people understand. I really don't think people understand how expensive having children is. Okay, for example, we got married in March. We had the baby in April. We had the baby's baptism party in July. We just came back from a 4-day trip in Budapest. Do you know how much money we spent? Literally 6 figures. Unless you're 100% prepared to take care of that child, or you have your own resources, or you have a partner or a husband that can guarantee resources for you even after he dies, please. Because you on your children, I really think Black women don't understand. They really don't understand, especially in cities like London. These children are not for people who don't have money, because you're going to suffer. When we try to tell Black women this, they think that we're being mean, but we're actually trying to save you from a lifetime of misery and struggle. If you don't have the money for it, forgo. You have no job, you have no business, you have no stability, but you're going to have a baby. And you're not even able to afford your own place, just to not have a random person coming into your room in the middle of the night or coming into your kitchen with their boxes out or whatever. It's insane. In cities like London, I see Black women who are literally struggling on minimum wage, struggling, living with their parents. They can barely save a thing even when they're living with their parents, because their wage is still not enough. And then you're going to add a child in that mix. Really, for Black women marrying down, the consequences are so severe. And it's not just about the race, it's the character of the man. If the man is not, and bearing in mind a lot of men are cheating these days, so about the character. If a man has a shitty character to the core, it really doesn't matter if he's purple, green, polka dotted, comes from fucking planet Jupiter or wherever. If he has a shitty character, he'll be shit. It doesn't matter what skin color if he's black or whatever. I really need ladies to guard themselves. And if you decide to get married, please do not marry down. Do not marry below your economic, financial level. I made a video on this before and people were getting at me. And now look, people are suffering. I made a video on this before and people were getting at me. But you see, I'm not the one suffering. You're the one suffering. You're the ones working in Amazon. I'm not the one suffering. You know what, getting at me when I made that video. I said marriage is not for the broke. It's not for the poor. You listen, when you get married, the whole point is that you're combining your resources. You can't combine what you don't fucking have. Okay? It's very, very important. I need women to understand this. When you get married, do not marry down, because your pregnancy and postpartum experience will be horrible. You will work like a dog on heat. In fact, a dog will have a better life than you, because a dog is well taken care of by its owners. A dog actually has a more luxurious life than some of these black women I see, because a dog is well taken care of by its. You will have a harder life than a dog and a cat, and you will make your children have a harder life as well. So listen, ladies, I am so sad when I see stuff like this. It's so depressing. It's so sad, because that's not my experience. You know, I'm very fortunate, you know, that my husband is wonderful, lovely, and he's a very nice man. But even then, I was always very 100% ruthless with what I wanted. Yeah, I was always very ruthless with what I wanted. And I was very shrewd. And I said to myself, I would never have a baby unless the man that I married could make sure I didn't work while I was pregnant, and that I wouldn't have to pay any bills or worry about any financial stuff. And I would just be able to enjoy my life. And when the baby came, that I would be able to enjoy my life and not have to cook and clean and stress myself to fucking death. And I also said to myself, so I would not have a baby unless I had investments and money of my own that I had personally without requiring a job, because I knew that I would not be able to work because my pregnancy was quite stressful. And that was a standard I gave myself, and that was the standard I met, and I enjoyed my pregnancy. That's one thing I want to mention to women, because honestly, when I look at how much we've done, we've got married, we, you know, bought a house, we have had a baby, we have done this in the span of 4 months. We've done all of that because there's money. Listen, I really need ladies to understand, there is money. When you have money, there's all the blockages that you find, especially when you have a baby, you know, having to do all the leg work, the overnights, the cooking, the prep, all of that just gets cut down, because you can hire people, you have big support, you have a village, you have family, you have a good husband. It's very, very important. Look at this video that I'm about to show you of this woman just screaming about how she's sick and tired of 9 to 5. And she would never have a job. She would never have a child, because she couldn't guarantee that her child wouldn't have anything else other than 9 to 5 as well. And that's very important, because actually, me and my husband, we discussed we didn't want our daughter to just be stuck doing a 9 to 5 for the rest of her life. So we opened a trust fund for her, and she gets that money when she turns 18 or wherever we decide. And she won't have to be stressing about a house deposit or anything or whatever. She'll be able to just buy it when the time comes, and she'll be able to buy that freedom, and that's what we're planning for her.
I honestly think people have kids for the sake of it. I think people get to a certain age, late 20s, mid 30s, and think, oh, I need to have kids now and I need to get married. Why? Why are you having kids? Because something has just sparked something in me to say this. Why do you want to bring children into this world? Like, have you asked yourself that question? For me, I don't think I want to do it. No, you know what? I'm probably scared to say I don't want to do it. Do you know why? Because I don't want them to experience anything that I've had to experience in this life. Everything that I'm doing in this life, I'm working away from. Everything that I've had to work so hard in my adult life to work myself away from everything that I was taught, and I'm learning everything. So why am I going to want to bring children into that when I don't even have a stable environment? Half these people that are having kids don't have a stable environment, don't have nothing to offer them, don't have nothing to give them, but they're still having kids. Why? Why are you having children? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you bringing children into poverty and then they're lost? They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want out of life. They have no sense of direction. Then they go and get pregnant and they continue the vicious cycle. It ends with me. It ends with me, bruv. You ever sat and asked yourself a question like, why do I want children? Yes, okay, as women, it is part of our human experience that we can procreate if we want. We're living in a time now where women have autonomy. We have choices. Before, our grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents and ancestors didn't have a choice. Now we live in a time where we can see what's happening in the world today. We've had a lived experience. None of us want to work 9 to 5. Nobody wants to work 9 to 5, but we do it. Why do you want to bring somebody else into that to suffer? Do you know how much I've had to do to work myself away from the system to not? Why do I now want to bring someone else to go through that suffering? Huh? And then also as a black woman, like, why do I've had to work myself so far away from this system that I'm actually trying to get the fuck out of the UK because of the experiences I had as a black woman. Why do you want to put somebody else through that? Why do you want to put somebody else through that? I said the only way I would do it is if I was living in an environment where I was the majority, or I am the majority. Until then, I don't know, and I don't know how long that's going to take me. So then when I get there and I can't do it, what am I going to do? Cry about it? No. Like, I just think sometimes we need to ask ourselves questions, and I just don't think people do that enough. Because for me, I don't want anybody to experience the life that I've lived. I don't. Like, I got asked a question the other day, like, oh, do you not enjoy life? I make the most of it. I make the most of it because I'm here, but I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here, and now I'm being forced against my own will to do things that I don't want to fucking do, and nobody wants to fucking do it, and nobody wants to open their mouth and say the truth. Nobody wants to open their mouth and say, I don't want to do this. It's only on this bloody app that I come on here and I see people telling the truth. Everybody else is fucking zombies walking around. Like, make it make sense. Like, if you're in a loving family, if you have a supportive partner, and you have the funds, the financial grounds, the emotional intelligence, the emotional stability, the financial stability, a secure home, yeah, and resources that you can maintain and support this child for the rest of their life. Because there's also this notion that as soon as you turn 9 to 18, you're no longer responsible. Yes, you fucking are. It's your child. Until your child is dead, you're responsible for your child. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. So just make sure you're going to be able to be there and support your child for the rest of your life and sacrifice everything. Like, and then on top of it, that's another thing. I don't want to sacrifice myself alive. I don't want to, like, I was listening to the radio and the man was like, yeah, summer holidays is fast approaching. Make sure you're sitting down with your kids reading and writing. Make sure you're sitting down with your kids. I don't want to do that. I want to live my life. I want to go to my singing lessons that I decided to do when I was an adult because I didn't get that one as a child. You know, or I want to go to my pole class that I decided to do as an adult because I have the choice and the freedom to do it. I want to do stuff. Oh, and then people are going to say, yeah, but you can work around it. I don't want to. And that's okay. That's okay. You can work around it. I don't want to, and that is okay. It's okay. It's okay to make a choice.
I really felt for that black woman because she was talking the truth. If you're basically, a lot of people are struggling in a 9 to 5 and then having kids to struggle in the same 9 to 5 who will also go through mental health issues and struggles because of lack of money. Like, it's depressing. And I really rate that black woman for what she said. I really do. I love what she said in the video. And that was one of the reasons that me and my husband also said we're going to start a trust fund for our daughter so that she can have freedom. She doesn't have to worry. She doesn't have to stress about affording certain things. She'll be able to use it for whatever she needs and whatever she desires to better herself. And this is what I'm saying. If you can't provide opportunities for a child and you can barely provide opportunities for yourself as a black woman, what is the point of marrying down and then bringing a child into a marry down life, like into a life where they're already fighting obstacles, unseen obstacles, unforetold issues? It's just sad. It's just sad. I feel sad. I feel sad when I think about it because black women are amazing. They deserve so much better. They deserve so much more. And I need them to see this and want this for themselves. We can't want it for you. You've got to want it for yourself. What I'm trying to tell black women is essentially, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you stay at home, you'll probably not have any of your own money to, excuse me, madam. You should not even be having kids if you don't have any investments or private wealth of your own. And that's a reality. If you stop having money because you don't work, then you don't have money. Because what that means is anytime you get sick, if you can't work, you're going to die of starvation. That's what it means. You're going to die. You're going to be homeless. And a lot of people will not understand that, or they'll think it's too extreme, but it's not. It's not. It's just a level of, it's just a standard that you really need to be at if you really want to be comfortable with children. Staying at home does not mean you don't have money. You should have money and personal investments of your own as a woman, and then you marry up and combine that. That's the whole point. So it's actually really sad to see. But listen, I really hope that women start understanding how important it is to really be on somebody that's on your level, or at least higher, or at least be on the same page with the person that you want to have children with. Another thing as well is this economy is just, you really have to plan for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and write down even to Z. It's so important because you can see it's not easy for people, regardless of what situation they're in. Do you know how much money this all requires? Money. And bearing in mind, when you're a new mom, and I'm a new mom, and you want to be comfortable and you want to still have your own life, then you'll need, if you don't have a village, then you'll need to hire a nanny or a cleaner to help you. Otherwise, you're going to end up realizing that you're going to do the majority of the brunt work, especially if your husband is working long hours or working a difficult job. A lot of women don't realize this. If you tell them, they will tell you to fuck up. That's what they will tell you. They don't know. And I mentioned my own situation. Actually, we've just bought a house, right? Our house buying process has been extremely exhausting. It has been extremely exhausting. The amount of money. And bearing in mind, like I said, we got married in March. We had the baby in April. We have had the baby's baptism party. We've gone on, a vacation. We're going on 2 more vacations this year, and we're buying a house, and we've bought a house. Do you know how expensive that is? Do you know how much money has been? It requires a lot of money, not even just a lot of money. You need to be physically present with your child. You need to be present. You need to play with them. You need to spend time with them. You need to take them to the play center. You need to take them out. They need to experience nature. They need to be outside. They need to have the fresh air and see different surroundings other than the 4 walls of your house every day. And a lot of people don't know, they don't understand this, and you need money to give you that freedom to be able to go and do things with your child. Otherwise, you're going to end up working so hard to give your child basic amenities that you barely see them, and that's not going to be helpful for their growth. They might even fall into bad gangs, wrong hands, teenage pregnancy, so many other things, because you're not there, because you're working so hard like a dog, because you never had money to have the child anyway. So that's something to think about. Before I go, I want to say that lastly, I am a very big champion of Black women interracially dating. I think Black women should date out, but that doesn't mean that you date down. In fact, when you date out, you're supposed to have even higher standards than normal. In my opinion, if you're dating anybody, if you're dating a man, doesn't matter what skin color he is, you need to have high standards. But especially when you date out, that's when you're supposed to have even higher standards. You're not supposed to date down. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been a lot. You can see it's been high. It's been a lot of emotions. There's been quite a few emotions. But yeah, listen, I want to see more women having good postpartum experiences, happier pregnancies. Because realistically, if you were going to date down, there's no point in you dating out, because there are plenty of men within your group who are below you economically who you could date. You don't actually need to go out of your way to date out and then date down at the same time. It doesn't make sense. So I need women to be, please move ruthlessly, move shrewdly, especially if you want kids, especially Black women who get made baby mamas and single mothers a lot. It's an extremely painful experience from what I've seen women telling their stories online. It's a painful experience. So I want to see women enjoying themselves, being happy in motherhood and not being miserable. Or, if you don't have to get married and have kids. And also, you can also just be child free. Like, I support so many I have quite a few child free women on my channel, and I love them to bits. I support them. You can just be child free. My sister's child free. It's not that deep. My auntie was child free. You can just be child free. Okay, it's not that deep. If you can't find somebody, if you cannot afford your own living, if having a baby is going to stop you from traveling, stop you from buying a decent handbag, a pair of shoes, or stop you from even buying a car or a house, don't do it, because you cannot afford your own life. Never mind another life. You've got nothing to offer another life. I really, really, really want to see Black women living well. Like, I am spoiled to bits, very loved, very cherished, and I really want to see Black women living the same. and being happy and being blessed and being, you know, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bless you. I love this community. You're all fabulous, fantastic. Thank you so much for the subscribers and the watches and the comments. And I will see you later. Bye. And yeah, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.
I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye bye.